What's up, weirdos, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan, and I have another book review for you today. I did not pick this book out. My grandmother, it was her turn to pick the book for our book club, and the book she picked is called Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but this is the book, and it was supposed to be about the perspective, I believe, of black women growing up in the UK, and I thought this was going to be a very interesting book, and it did teach me stuff, but it was not my favorite book. I don't have much to say about this book, and 99% of it is bad. So if you liked this book, good for you. Absolutely rock on. But this book was not the book for me. I'm not going to spoil anything in this book, so this will be one of my shorter book reviews. I don't really know what to say about this book. I'm going to start with the obvious. When you first start reading it, it has no punctuation. And as a person with ADHD and I'm hyperactive, and this is like the world's longest run-on sentence. There is not a single period in this book. It is commas only. And I am not even joking when I tell you it is not written in paragraph form. The words are written in like sentences that don't start with capitals, and they're not written in paragraph form. They're broken up oddly right here like that, and this is all throughout the book, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's kind of like a collection of autobiographies of people's lives. There are 5 chapters in this book, and each chapter is 3 different women's stories. Well, they don't all start at the beginning of their life and tell you all about their life to the end. Some people start talking about a specific event that is going on. They're talking about them being in their 30s, and then they flash back to something that happened when they were 12. They are women, and they're generations of women, and all these people are connected. And I am not kidding you when I tell you they dropped at least 250 to 300 names in this book. It's like talking to a person and hearing their entire life story about, oh, my friend and my aunt and then this friend, and then I went to this cafe and I met this random person, and then I was a teacher and it named all 50 of the students in the class, and I'm like, who are these people and how are they relevant? I don't understand what's going on. And then everybody is connected to another person, and it was really hard to figure out. And then the ending, it didn't make sense to me. I honestly, I think I blacked out when I skimmed this book because I don't remember most of it. I think this is the worst book that I have never read, and I blacked out for most of it. I don't remember reading this, and I'm pretty sure I only understood a couple sentences on each page. And it could just be because of my dyslexia and my ADHD. It made it hard for me to read a book with so many names and unable to connect the dots between who is who and who knows this person. And, one person says, oh, my name is Boomy and my daughter is this person, and my friend are these people, and then I met this person here, and then oh, I did this, that, and the other thing, and then this person, and then you get the daughter's perspective, who's like, oh, my mom is Boomy, and then my friends are these people, and then you get a whole bunch of different other people, and you're like, what is happening? I had no idea what was happening throughout most of this book, so I don't really have a whole lot of good to say about it. It was not the book for me. I am definitely more of a fantasy book reader, not an autobiography person, so I will not be reading this again, and I probably will not be keeping it. Definitely not keeping it because I didn't like it at all, so I'm going to get rid of this book. It was not the book for me. If it is the book for you, like I said, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I personally just did not enjoy this book. It didn't work out for me, and it was not a hit. So I'm gonna let that go. The only one, okay, this is the only good thing I can say about this book, is that it did talk about educational stuff for Black women in the UK. As obviously I grew up in the United States, I learned about American history and Black American history and how people of color suffered here for hundreds of years, and it was taught to me from a young age in school. It just never dawned on me that it happened elsewhere. Like, obviously I knew it happened, and I just figured it was the same everywhere, but this showed me that it was different. And some things are still the same. Like, people are like, oh my gosh, my child is gay or my child is trans. You can't be like that, because what will everybody else think? And that's a common problem here in the States, is that everybody is so concerned with what other people will think. It's like, who cares what other people think? Why is that your first concern? I don't understand. You know, your kid is gay. It's not the end of the world. They're gonna completely live their life and be just fine with a spouse if they choose to find one or not. This book does have stories of sexual assault in it. Um, a few girls discuss their rapes in it, and they do talk about it. And I don't want to say that they glance over it, but one story that I remember reading, she was talking about it, and she said, and she starts describing how she was uh, uh, ushered off to the side and out somewhere in a room or something, and then she says that she just zoned out and she focused on a math problem, and she waited until everything was over, and then she went somewhere, and another girl talks about how she was gang raped. And so if that kind of stuff is triggering to you, then I suggest you skip those parts of the book or don't read this. There is talk of a father ending up being gay. His daughter goes to his room and finds sex toys in his room, and so if that kind of stuff bothers you, then don't read this book, because this book does discuss these kinds of things, and it is very informative. It does teach you some things that I was able to pick up from it. I'm not sure. So I rate this book, honestly, I have to give it like a 1, because it did teach me about things that I didn't know that were going on in the UK, but it wasn't the book for me because of the lack of punctuation, and because it gave so many names. It was really hard to keep up with whose story you were reading and what they were talking about and what was going on, and there was just so many people. I couldn't keep up with this. This wasn't the book for me. So I will definitely be unhauling this book soon. So I will let that be it for my review of this book. I know I did kind of say that I wasn't going to spoil anything, and then I talked about a few things that are spoilers, and I am sorry about that if that makes you uncomfortable or anything. I just wanted you guys to be forewarned about some things that are in this book, in case it is something that you just kind of want to skip and you just don't want to bother reading because of that. I know that some things are triggers for people, and I don't want you to read this book if it's going to trigger something that happened to you personally or to someone that you know. So I think I'm going to wrap up this book review and let that be it for today. So I will chat with you guys next time, when hopefully I have a happier book review for you. I think that's everything, so I'm going to leave. So just remember to stay weird. Bye!